What it do? It's your boy Illuminated D. You know what I'm saying? We back with another one. Today, this video is going to be called Surviving 2024. So, as I'm coming to you and wanting to talk to you today, I just want to let you know that since 2020, we've been faced with so many adversities. Like, I'm not going to go into all the topics, but we all know that hard time, right? And then all of a sudden, the money printer got turned on, and then everybody was getting paid as it felt. Now, I'm going to point out a couple different dynamics on why this is interesting, because I say surviving 2024 because we've been leading up to this. You know what I'm saying? There was a chill time. There was a chill time in history. I feel like 2013 was like on the down stretch of everything that was going on in the world, and after a 10-year war that was happening, and it kind of tapered off a little bit, and things just kind of got a little bit more peaceful, I would say. But working our way into 2020, whole world shutting down, and then coming into 2024 with this super high inflation rate, I just want to introduce to you surviving 2024. So let's jump right into this. We just had a situation where a crazy amount of the global population and I don't think people really notice it because we be in big cities and it doesn't really feel like it, but a huge part of the global population just got, in 2020. So looking at that, even though you can't really tell because the cities are so big, but if you really start to pay attention, you'll notice that depending upon the city that you're in, it's and then the prices of inflation went up. So it was kind of like, let's move the goalpost to see who is going to survive and thrive in these near coming times, because the gap is being separated a little bit, and it's showing and putting fire under individuals to actually try harder and want to do better and make different type of investments and expand their portfolios in order to survive the next level of how everything happens, I would say. Because you got to be smarter, because they bring in and introduce in artificial intelligence. You can work 10 times faster. We have all the answers at our fingertips. And surviving 2024, I want to let you know that you are not a weak individual. To whoever is on the other side of this camera, I just want to let you know that you're not a weak individual. You're just going through a hard time. I just want to let you know you're going through a hard time because the whole world going through a hard time. Now, depending upon your saving practices and if you're renting or if you buy, is going to play a determining factor, but it's all based off of how you're choosing to live your life. You feel me? Are you going harder now, suffering now, so that you can chill later? Or are you chilling now to where it's harder to buy later? The question is ultimately up to you. But in surviving 2024, if you're watching this, I just want to let you know that you are an amazingly strong individual, because the fact that you're in an area that has internet, you have the ability to potentially be watching this on a stream. You know what I'm saying? You have a phone and or computer. I don't know how you're watching it, but and or computer. So you're in a better place than a lot of people, because I was just in a high poverty area not too long ago, just about a year and a half ago, where there was so many people that went without, and a lot of people were on the street because the cost of living in the area was so high that it just took the lower middle class out, and then now they're all on the streets, and or they had to move to different areas in order to survive this new inflation. So the question is like, are you keeping up with inflation And are you thriving through inflation, or are you just trying to breathe? Now, not everybody was born to just have the luxury to just be super wealthy. So where you don't have the luxury to just be able to live it super wealthily, I would say, like the financial freedom up front, that's where your financial literacy skills come in, and then it should mold you and grow you over time, because you have the ability to keep up with inflation and start to snowball effect to be able to manage through the inflation. Now, I know it's easier said than done because there's life circumstances that get presented, but I want to come to you and tell you that you are not a weak individual. You're a very strong individual, because to even be able to watch this, there's so many people that don't have a phone. You'll be very surprised at so many people that don't have phones. You see what I'm saying? That don't have the communication ability, that don't have the connects. So if you do have that, don't look at it like, don't look at everybody else and worry about what everybody else got going on. Stay focused on your goals, stay focused on your vision, because that's the only way that you really gonna survive it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that looking at survival ratio, you know, as the statistics are coming out, they're saying that, you know, reckless individuals, and I know they use the men and they be like, oh, men live less longer. It's because sometimes men do more outlandish things like speed their cars, or they go skydiving and bungee jumping and just parkour. You know what I'm saying? Like, parkour is a huge one. So looking at that, it's like being wise, being smarter, paying more attention, watching what's going on in the world, not being afraid to try new things, staying in your bubble, your square, your routine, staying in a good routine right now is so important. It's so important because when you start stepping out your routine and doing things that you don't necessarily plan for spontaneously, that's how you can put yourself in like little binds, right? So just being mature, not doing random spontaneous actions that you haven't planned for, and just taking it one day at a time and just going with the rolls of the roller coaster. We all want to be at the top so fast, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be at the top so fast. But when I talk to my parents or when I talk to my family members, they say it took time. And I know that in today's age, we get information so fast, so we want to feel like the results will be so fast. But I think a lot of times we just have to have grace with ourselves and realize that we're all still growing. Even if you're 30, even if you're 40, we're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? We don't know everything. There's so many different skills that we haven't actually, like I would say, like let's say you're really good at singing, but you didn't practice on cooking skills. Or let's say, you know what I'm saying? That means that things that we haven't worked on as heavily can definitely be worked on. So we're not perfect. And we're still trying to all figure it out. But in figuring it out, there should be some sort of maturity stance in there where you're picking your friends wisely, making sure that you don't have individuals around you that don't see your worth. You know what I'm saying? They see your worth and they want to treat you as your worth and pay you your worth too. You know what I'm saying? Like, looking at it from all standpoints. But at the end of the day, it's all love. And I want to let you know that surviving 2024 has definitely been a task. But if you're seeing this, you made it. You know what I'm saying? You made it to another day. It's a beautiful day. It's July 23rd, 2024. A beautiful day outside, even if it's raining. Appreciate these days because we don't get forever. You feel me? Appreciate these days because we don't get forever. And since we don't get forever, enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it. Be happy. Be happy that we're in a state of the world where if you have the ability to watch this, you're a blessed individual, because there is currently 2 wars going on, and nobody's really tapping into it or talking about it right now. The news is talking about it, but people not really directly feeling it. So I look at it like, don't stress yourself so much, because you have the ability right now to be the change, be the difference. Be happy. I get it that people are going through different things. They're going through depression, they're going through hard times, family situations, struggles, life circumstances. We all got something. Everybody got something. But remember, you got today for a reason. So like Pops would say, strive to be greater today than you were yesterday. And realize that you got another day. If you got food on your plate, if you got some water, some clean water at that, purified spring, give thanks. Be thankful first. Look at all your blessings first. And then all that extra that are just little bumps in the road, circumstances, just breathe. My therapist told me to just breathe. They said just breathe. When things feel like your anxiety is about to pop out your chest and your head goes and it starts going crazy, just breathe. Breathe. Even if you don't have the answer, just breathe. You know what I'm saying? You gotta breathe. Just take a moment and breathe. Let it out. Breathe. And then analyze the situation in sequential order. Because remember, there's always an answer. There's always an answer to your problem. But you gotta breathe, and you have to lay out the circumstance, look at it in a sequential order, and then create solutions. And then, even if you don't have the necessary solution at the moment, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Put in action. Think about it. Think about it. I promise you, there's a different power and energy when your back's against the wall and you have no choice but to make it. And remember, there's only 2 responses. It's either fight or flight. It's either fight or flight. You either survive or you don't. So when shit's looking bad, if we in the trenches, and shit can look bad, but just because it looks bad doesn't mean that that is the defining circumstance of how that everything has to play out. There's a different energy when your back's against the wall, when you feeling that pressure, when you feeling that pain, when you feeling uncertainty. That's energy. You can use that energy and turn it into courage. You feel me? Because we all want to be successful. We all want to be somewhere in life. But in order to do that, got to do something that you ain't never done before. And that's the reason that we're doing this right here, right now. Everybody be blessed. Be safe. We out.